talking about here. So today we are talking about provisioning, and this is in 1.6 in the PTS server. As you can see, we have a bunch of ingredients that have now changed over into the new system. First thing you might want to do is any of these 100 stacks here, you can click, drag, and start stacking them now, because these can now go up to a full 200 as well. Now, where you see the old caramel, or the old in front of this stuff, this can all sell. So there's all drippings, old fatback, etc. This all sells because currently this does not have any use in our current system here. It still shows up in the materials for the ingredients, which would be kind of nice if it would shift over to the miscellaneous or the junk, but you know, you do what you do. So you want to get rid of all this old stuff here. It seems like all this will sell for a bit as well. My recommendation though is if you see some of this stuff here, like old Pegasus for example, this was used to make consummate honey brittle. This changes over and makes, you know, if you go ahead and make those ingredients, that makes some good food on the other side of that. So my recommendation is if you see any of these old items here and you have an ingredient for it, like old imperial flour and all this other stuff, make it today. That way it converts over in the next. In addition to that, I don't see the tomatoes or anything else like that, and a lot of that probably converted over into some of these new. Now I don't have a one-to-one you know, comparison of what changed over or what didn't change over. My recommendation though is if you have something that you know is going to become more common, like tomatoes for example, those sell for like 800 today. In the new world, that might sell for a lot less, so you might want to either sell off or make your food today with some of that stuff and get your money now rather than wait to go over. Now, what's also changed is the way that they handle some of these items. Like in the first area here, all this stuff seems to be green, which will be under the meat dishes, fruit dishes, etc. Vegetable dishes, very much the same. Now, when you get into like the savories, for example, this is where you have some of your blues. The ragouts is more blues. Entremet is more blues. And then gourmet is where we have some of our purple items here. As you can see here, we still have a list of ingredients that we need to get. You can still get some of this other stuff here with fishing, pumpkin, corn, etc. In addition to that, the you know, you had the green drinks here, teas, tonics, liqueurs are your blues, your tinctures are your blues, cordial teas, and then you have your distillants, which are purples. Now, I didn't have any V10. I have not loaded any V10 rank 10 recipes on here. However, it seems like when I converted my character over onto the PTS server, I got one VR5 rank 5 purple, and I got one rank 10 food as well. Now, the other thing that seems to have changed is, as you notice, the max health here goes up to like 2,814, and the max magic and stamina goes up by 2,572. In addition to that, you get your rank 10 at 3,150, and your max magic and stamina at 2,880. So it seems like they've separated those out a little bit with the whole change to the stats, but they're still pretty comparable and still do their job pretty well. Now, they said they were going to make this a little bit better on the drinks and all that stuff. However, again, it's still increasing the health, magicka, and stamina recovery. One is by 129 and the other is by 144. These still do not stack together, so you either eat a food or you drink a drink. Most people I know, min-maxers and everyone else, are going to be eating food. They're not going to be drinking for the health regen, the stamina regen, and the magicka regen. I haven't seen a whole lot of new builds with this, but I mean, that's kind of what we do today. I don't know if that's going to be too helpful or not, but you know, that's kind of what it seems like there, at least. I'm going to head over this way here just to show. Thank you, insect. And grab another wasp, insect parts, thank you. And I'm just looking for a nice little fishing hole here where we can show off the new fishing system and how it's been created to be a little bit more useful, as we see here. So fishing, as you know, you just kind of bob your thing in the water and wait for something to pull in and you reel it in. And hopefully they didn't make fishing too hard. Just trying to get one fish so we can show some of it here. Okay, so now we got a river Betty there. A river fish. Use fillet for provisioning. Okay, so we double click that, and we get fish from that. I do hope that they will consider adding a few more fillets for some of these fish, especially with given the time that it takes to grind out and get some of those fish. They really should consider it because, you know, people put time into that versus going off and you know, stealing or something else like that. It really deserves to get some you know, a higher reward for that. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and come back up to my fire here. We got a fish. I do not have a pumpkin, however. I do have a little bit of money. So let's go inside here. Go to our chef. So you can see I can buy the fish here as well.
Greetings.
Go ahead and make one of those. And we make 4. So that's pretty much the cooking in the new system there. It's nothing too new. They have made fishing a little bit more useful because now you can actually get fish fillets from the fish. I just hope they add like maybe 2, 3, depending on the quality of the fish of that. In addition to that, you have a lot of ingredients that have now deprecated and have gone old. So we're going to have to sell all those old ones. My recommendation to a lot of players today, either make the food, that way it's already converted over and you can save yourself some of the money, or you could take a look and see if you can sell it off and get more money back from that as well. Okay, that'll end the highlight on that, folks. I just wanted to give that little tidbit on it so we can link something up on the forums for that. Oh, and that following sound is my wife, actually. And she is saying, who the hell would follow this shit? In a very nice and sarcastic manner. Now, I'm trying to think of anything else here, guys, that I should highlight or show off or anything else like that. Oh. Let us show the Saddle Master here real quick. One other thing, turn off notifier. Okay, and welcome back, folks. We are taking a look at the Saddle Master here and some of the things that have changed with the new system.
The Khajiit have suffered much lately.
Now, if you went ahead and bought some of these horses before, guess what? In the next system here, it is not going to matter because everything is based off of how much you train it. So some of these items here that kind of got you ahead and all that other stuff there, that's no longer there. It only depends on how much speed, stamina, and capacity that you have. Now, this character here had a simple white horse, the simple Imperial Edition horse here, had no training into it, and as you can see here, we have the speed, stamina, and capacity at 0 for all this. And I'm just going to head and get off this character. Get back onto my main character. Da, da, da. I apologize, we have to wait, folks. Oh, and as you can notice, some of the add-ons do not work inside of this. Well, Wicked and other people will probably get that working a little bit later. Now, the current thing is that this is PTS and some of this may change, but as you notice here on my main, I've already started on, I had one main speed horse and I had one capacity horse on top of that. The horses that I did buy, did get put over into my new what do you call it, mount store. Here, let me see if I can find it here. Champion collections. Into mounts. As you can see, there's slots for each one of these here. If you got the DLC, you have the Imperial horse. If you bought a horse, it'll show up here as well. But it does not transfer any of the same speed, stamina, capacity that you got with the more expensive horses. I'm kind of upset with that because, you know, I paid $42,000 for some of these horses. It's not because of the look, but just simply because of the extra 10 they give to a speed or to a stamina or something else like that. But luckily, they did take everything and put it onto one horse. My recommendation to a lot of players in the current build is to buy either a cheap horse, like a 10,000 here, or a 1 gold horse, and then start training up all three. So buy it 3 times and get it set up now. That way when it comes over, you'll be that much ahead. Now, you know, it may be expensive to buy, you know, 3 horses at 10,000 if you don't have Imperial Edition, I realize. However, you're still going to get the benefit of being able to get that done early, because once this new system starts, you can add in the riding skill, but you've got to wait the 20 hours. So you can upgrade all of them now, but you still got to wait. If you do it today, you're going to be able to take and get all 3 trained simultaneously. That's going to give you a huge head start. You have up till March, guys, so get it done now. As you can see here, this is a pack horse, but it also has speed, and it goes going really fast. So make sure to get that done as soon as possible, and that's going to give you a lot extra work out of the way. Okay, so that covers that as well. Alright, do you guys have any other questions with PTS 1.6? Let me know. I'm just going to take a quick look at my testing list and see if there's anything else I should take a look at here, or I think I managed to cover some of that. Immense ways you can customize your character with the constellation of the trees. I kind of covered that a little bit earlier, but it's not going to be a little harder. How about testing the economic fees of the provisioning, the drop rates, recipes? I'll have to do that a little bit later. EXP, we still need to go over some of the different EXP. Tomorrow, guys, I may try to do some of the grinding, Spill Scar. If you can think of anything else you want to have tested on the you know, XP, like let's say you want to run through a quest or 2, I will also be trying to get like a low-level character up a few levels and see how fast it goes. I got to test that out something to see how fast it goes compared to like a regular live character. But I'm going to be using my standard method of building up the Fighters Guild, going to some of the undead and Daedric places in each side of one of those zones. So well, like when you take a look at Aradon, for example, here, you know, you have a lot of like Daedric in certain areas here. Like First Hold has a good amount. Queldam has some that you can find in there. No, that's Iteran that has it there. When you get over to Grantwood, you have the Bone Orchard here. You have the Gold Folly here. You go to Green Shade, you have a couple more. I think it's down in this area here, maybe around Root, that will be affected with some of the Fighters Guild's abilities, and you know, give me basically extra DPS with some of that stuff. So I got to test that out, see how that works comparatively. with that as well. Let's see, is there anything else on the list here that I can take a look at? I did request to developers that we be given at least one character with 120 points to put away so we can see one of the major passives and how that will affect, but I haven't heard anything back from that. I'll probably need somebody else on the help me out on the forums there to really push it up there. If you guys do go to the ESO forums, take a look at my profile down below. Give me a reply, a like, or other helpful things to raise up some of my posts up there so developers take notice and all that stuff. I would really like to test out some of the different 120 ranks in here, 120 ranks in here, 120 ranks in here, but I can't see anyone in this current PTS getting the amount of champion points needed to test this out. So how long is it going to be until we know exactly if this is going to be extremely broken or if it's going to be extremely useless? I don't know, but I mean, they got to give us something here, maybe on the last 2 days or something like that. Just give us a bunch of champion points to try it out the high levels. But again, it's nothing I can do about it until developers give us the information or give us the ability to get that. I mean, we need it, but they're just not giving it to us right now. Worried about town building farming when justice system comes in. Yeah, I can see some of that. I'll see if I can how easy I can camp and farm some of those different loot boxes there. CPs, yep. Locate the provisioning recipes. I will try to locate where to find provisioning recipes. As you saw with our earlier crime spree as well, some of the stuff there, when you found it, you could immediately... Yoda, thank you much for the hosting, man. As I mentioned before, when you grab some of the recipes, you can immediately learn them. That seems kind of broken to me because you can find a couple blue and purple recipes and just like, is it in there? Okay, yep, grab it, you learn it, okay, I'm done. And you take no risk or have very little risk to that as well. I think you should have to launder it before you do that, but I don't know. They can make it an encrypted recipe. So basically, if you steal it, it's encrypted. You have to take it to the launderer. Launderer decrypts it, and then you can now read it. That could be done for motifs as well. And that way you make it a little bit dangerous to have to carry it around and all that stuff. Just thoughts on that though. Main effect difference with light armor and heavy armor. I'll take a look to see if I can do that a little bit later on some of that as well, folks. That's going to be a little bit hard to do at the current moment. As you saw me before though, I'll put a highlight up there of me running a dungeon, basically doing a medium armor tank. I mean, granted, a lot of this is high level stuff, Bloodspawn Pauldrons, all medium armor here, Resilient Yukari, Dominion Shield and Dominion Sword, but it served pretty well, and I was able to keep myself up. I'm a little bit, I still got to take a look to see if I can balance this a little bit better. I'm wondering if I should get rid of some of the stamina stuff here and maybe put in some health gems or something else like that. But that kind of all just goes to what it is. Let's see, there we go. Some of the gold spent on this as well is, the gold spent on some of the stuff to be repaired is, up in the 500 to 600 range. So it is getting up there for some of this as well. It's probably going to be a good balance with the justice system as well, to add in a bit more, I guess, value to some of those items there and add some different things in there. Now, okay, and my bounty has now cleared. That was about 28 when I logged off, went onto the character, and now it has cleared now that we're on the other character as well. So, if you get a high bounty or something like that, and you don't have the money, and you can't really get yourself out of it, and, you're running scared, and you're hiding in a corner or something like that, just go ahead, log off, it seems, get onto a different character, play them for a while, come back in, and your bounty is cleared, or at least it's lessened since then. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else here I wanted to do or try? I'm going to get on the other character real quick and show something as well. Hey Daisy, there is not currently another separate. There is not a separate tab for trophies yet. There is for pets and collectibles, but there is nothing for trophies today. I do want to see that though, and that's feedback I think I put up there. I got to double check, but if you don't have it already, it's definitely something I want to see. I want to see as well, because I have a bunch of trophies on my other characters, and it's like, okay, I have these trophies here. Can I get rid of them anytime? I mean, I can understand if they tell me the trophies are for only if you actually complete the dungeon, that it comes from the public dungeon, but I can trade them to my characters, so there's no point not to have them, I guess. Okay. One other thing, guys, on this. Turn off notifier, and we'll start another highlight. How you doing, guys? I'm just showing off some Dragon Knight abilities here. Now, they changed a lot of these here.